Hey, everybody. So, I want to give you a glimpse of the creative process of my world and why I've chosen to write this book publicly and share every bit of the research I've done. Because I want you to know that where I get my information from is not only organic, but it comes from a very specific background. It comes from what I feel that day, what I've dealt with that day or that week. It comes from just things that I don't even expect to be like aha because I'm watching a TV show or something. And so I know I've gotten a few comments from some people who are my critics, which is great. I mean, they're trying to train me in something that they think is appropriate based upon their expectations. They're like, you come off really unprofessional over the internet. And I didn't read the whole email, but I kind of knew where they were coming from because lately I've been putting out videos that are like, whoa, would you be smoking in that video? Would you be yelling at someone in that video? Like you're trying to sell something. The whole Jilly Juice protocol, mentality, recipe is not something you really sell. You are sharing information and you have a creative process. And you've seen the creative process of the mind mapping of all the information that's chaotic that finally turns into organization. And I'm going to yell at people. I'm going to be mad at situations. I'm going to, follow my gut in alignment with where I'm coming from because my voice, my thesis, my hypothesis must be gleaned out. Because if it isn't, then you'll get chaos in my book. And I don't want chaos in the book. So if I'm going to be chaotic, I'm going to be chaotic online. I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I'm going to show you what it's like to try to save a dog from the environment. I mean, that's the whole point of this creative process is that you be comfortable in your skin. You're not living up to somebody else's expectations. You're not bound by a doctrine that is so limiting. And the corporate world is very limiting. I've been in the military. I've been in the corporate world. You have to dress a part. You have to act the part. You can't have confrontation. You can't tell somebody off. I mean, I was so limited in corporate America that I did tell somebody off one time. And no, it didn't bode well. But I needed to do that because it didn't seem fair how things were going. But life isn't fair and you have to play a part and you have to hold your tongue in corporate America. Well, I'm not in corporate America. I'm in my sweats. I am researching information on the internet. I am dealing with all the data from all of you, the feedback, your lifestyle, your belief system. I'm calling everyone on their hypocrisy. I'm doing everything that corporate America would frown upon because you're not supposed to call the CEOs or anyone in your office on their hypocrisy. You're supposed to let it go. You're supposed to just follow the game that's being played and not mention things that need to be mentioned. And so that's not the Jilly Juice mentality. That's not the Jilly Juice protocol. I will challenge politics. I will challenge all religions. I will definitely challenge science. And I will challenge the CEOs out there. I will challenge those that put on a front. And I am unapologetic because no matter what, you either want to live or you want to pass away. I can't force you to understand this information. And so since I'm not selling anything, I mean, eventually I'll sell a book, but even then, you're going to read it or you're not. And so it's not even like I'm trying to convert you or try to sell you or coerce you into doing this protocol because you can't make someone want to live if they don't want to live. And you should never try to destroy someone. But that's kind of the mentality right now in the mainstream. So that world has already been taken care of. There's many ways to destroy yourself. Like John said, there's 1,000 million ways to destroy yourself, but there's only one way to keep yourself alive. And so when I have no competition, there's no need for me to put on a front. There's no need for me to sell anything because religions have to sell their position because there's so many of them. They're all from the same thing. All the supplements and the antibiotics and the procedures and the prescription drugs and the over-the-counter drugs are all doing the same thing. So they have to sell their position that they're a better antibiotic than the other product. And so, yeah, you have to be professional. You have to look like that your company is better than the other company, even though you're selling the same thing. No different than insurance. They're all selling the same thing, but the insurance commissioner allows some companies to give discounts and have lower premiums than other companies, and then it switches around every so often. So every company has a chance to have lower prices than the other company. So, but this is not the jelly juice world. There's only one way to live. You got to deal with pain, you got to deal with viruses, and you have to eat all the food in the food supply. If not, then yeah, you can go down ship with everybody else, and death is easily sold. You sell death in religion, you can sell death in politics, you can sell death in science, and it's all the same shit, but it's all marketed differently. But the jelly juice world, we don't play those games. We're so different, and we're literally different because we deal with pain. We deal with viruses. We're not afraid of viruses. It's evolution. We're not only about creationism, but we understand evolution. We understand that they both work hand in hand, that it's not, one or the other, it's both. And so I am not bound by the limitations of professionalism, because either you understand the protocol or you don't. You either want to buy my book when it's coming out next year or you don't. You can watch all the videos or you don't. You can follow my post or you don't. I really don't care what you do. But the information will be available in a condensed form, and the information will sell itself. I don't need to sell anything. You're going to choose to live or you're going to choose to die. You're going to choose to justify dying, or you're choosing to say, okay, I'm going to change my lifestyle, change my belief system. And I'm not asking you to let go of your religion if you don't want to, but do you want to live? And you have all the opportunity now to understand what it means to actually live and evolve, and not live by the perception of life, of being in a cured state, and then having all the stories justify, oh, you'll go to heaven, you're going to ascend to wherever, which is another way to justify and sell death. And there are a million stories and a million ways to justify and sell death that's not the JJ protocol. So we don't have to play by the professional game. I'm going to do what I'm going to do because that's my creative process. Those of you who are creative, you know exactly where I'm coming from. Those of you who have never been creative in your life, you're going to expect me to be a robot just like you, selling somebody else's products that's competing with everybody else's same products, and you want to call yourself different. But J-Juice is literally different. Everyone else, they're not. They're all the same. All right, bye.